There'll be some intro music going on.
Cool.
All right, welcome everybody to the GRODCAST. I'm your host, Young Greasy, and today we're joined by Kate Sheehan. Why don't you introduce yourself to all the listeners?
Hi, I'm Kate. I am an associate creative director. I work at an ad agency called High Dive. I'm currently living in Chicago, writing, working, doing my thing. Nothing too crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we just jump into the first question? Kate, what is important?
I think everything is important. I think engaging, I feel like that might be a bit of a cop-out answer, but I'll explain. Engaging with everything in the world around you, everything from really like excellent, beautiful things like movies, music, people, and include also engaging with like really bad things, like reading a really crap book. Like I think that's really important too, and then thinking about why it was so bad and why you didn't like it, and that motivating you to be like, oh, I could totally do this. I can create. Just talking with random people on the street as much as you talk to people that you love and care about. Just really being present and in the world and engaging in anything and everything that interests you.
For sure. Kind of off of that point, what is art, and do you make any art?
I do. I think art is, it's so hard to define because it encompasses so many things. I think it's, of course, like movies, music, painting, but really anything that somebody is drawn to create, whether it's to help you process something or share something that you need to get out or you want to express to another person, or you just kind of, I don't know, you were fiddling with something and you made it and you're like, oh, that's kind of funny or that's kind of interesting. Anything that a human creates, I think, is art.
Yeah, I think, does that include like infrastructure?
Yeah.
I guess architecture is kind of art. Yeah.
Totally. That's like a really cool blend of art and science. I think, like, especially having lived in New York for so many years and living in Chicago now, just going around the city and seeing some of the really creative liberties that architects put into these buildings. It's like someone cared, and that's really awesome and beautiful to see.
For sure. Before we move on, is there anything else besides everything that is important?
I mean, I think the other thing that first came to mind was just health, like taking care of your physical and mental health so you can be there to be present with like the people that you love and enjoy your life and create. Taking care of like mostly your brain, making sure you're happy and able to enjoy everything that's around you. And I think that's really important too, like the number one thing to get to enjoying everything else.
Yeah. How, kind of off of that, before we get into favorite movie, just how has your relationship changed, or your relationship to your mental health changed as you've gotten older?
Man, it's been a journey. It's been like, a lifelong journey, as it is for everyone. I've been in weekly therapy for most of my adult life, and I think that's really important, to have somebody who's watching you as a third party who wants the best for you and kind of can observe your patterns. and just help you like kind of understand yourself a little bit better and be like, why are you making some of the choices you're making? Yeah, I think my relationship with it has, like, my mind has just gotten more open to it over the years and being like, hey, this is just another aspect of my health that is just as important to think about and put effort towards as much as like eating my vegetables, you know?
Yeah, I think I take care of my mental health better than my physical health. But
yeah, it's very important. Yeah.
Okay, a little lighter of a topic, but Kate, what is one of your favorite movies and why?
The first movie that came to mind was Hunt for the Wilder People. It is by Taika Waititi. It is so funny. Like, first of all, it's shot incredibly. The casting is awesome. The characters are like so memorable, and you are laughing so hard throughout this movie that you're not even realizing that like the emotional journey it's taking you on. And it's like, it's really uplifting, but it's also a gut punch, and it's so funny that you don't even realize how hard it's hitting you until the end. I think it's an absolutely excellent movie.
Oh, do you know where that was filmed?
New Zealand.
Yeah, I want to go out that way at some point. I know you and your family briefly lived in Australia, but that might have been a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. We were like, I was there until I was like 5. I think Hank was 3, but you should totally go. I think you would really like it. Like, the nature's so beautiful out there.
Yeah, I had a friend who the summer or like the year before COVID happened, I had a friend out there who was studying bird cognition.
Cool.
So the Kia birds would like walk up and put rocks in her boot.
Wait, that's so cool. Oh, like presents.
Yeah, a way of showing affection, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's super sweet.
Yeah, so one of these days I'll get out there.
You absolutely should. Keep me updated.
For sure. You mentioned Hank. Is there anything that a sibling does that you secretly despise but don't want them to know?
The worst place to say that is on a public podcast. Oh, man. That's such a tough question. He's a bad texter. I'll say that. He's a bad texter.
Yeah, he is.
Especially because he lives in California. I'm like, Hank, pick up the phone.
Yeah. I got to hang out with him quite a bit while I was still there, but now that I'm back in New York, things are definitely different. We're playing Magic online a bit, but I don't know. It's hard to keep in touch with all of your friends because the older you get, the more spread out they are.
Totally. It's like this. It's this awesome thing because, like, yeah, whenever you travel around the world and go to different cities, like, you know someone in every city, which is so cool, and you get to make these really fun memories with them, and they show you around their cities. But like, it is really hard to maintain day-to-day friendships when everyone's so spread out. So it's like, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, at least we have things like Zoom and Discord.
Totally. Yeah, playing Magic together is awesome. Like, creating some reason to like continually get together and like play is incredible.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get good at it.
Oh God, it's so hard. I tried. It's really, really difficult.
Yeah, and Hank is really good at it. So
That tracks. It's very strategically minded.
Yeah. Well, cool. So you're living in Chicago now. You mentioned New York. Um, do you have a specific like favorite memory of living in Syracuse?
I have a lot of really fun memories of Syracuse. Um, I think a lot of them involve like just being kind of like a dumb kid and like running around with my friends in like the parks after dark uh and like sledding and rolling around in the snow. And I remember, whenever there would be a big snowstorm, like there was one time we went sledding, I think it was down the JD Hill, and we went down the hill so many times. And I literally, like, I think I almost got hypothermia, but it was so worth it. Like, it's so fun to be so stupid. And I think one of the great things about living somewhere like Syracuse is you have to create your own entertainment. Like, you have to, like, figure out a way to make your own fun. And I think all of those memories are really sweet.
Yeah. When I was in California, I definitely missed the snow and all of that.
Yeah.
Being here for a winter, it got rough at times.
Yeah.
But I think it's really pretty when all the ground is covered.
Yeah, I feel like this year especially, there's like amazing snow.
Yeah. Do you have a sled in Chicago?
I don't. It actually started snowing today. But it's so flat. There's no hills anywhere. So there's nowhere to sled. It's so sad.
It would have to be cross-country sledding.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a lot of effort. A lot of arm work.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite restaurant in Syracuse?
Ooh. I mean, I feel like the most basic answer is Possibilities. It just has a special place in my heart. But my parents took me to this, oh my gosh, what was it called? I think it was like Peruvian or something. There was this new restaurant they took me to. But unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to say Possibilities just because it is such a classic. What about you?
It's pretty iconic. I have to think. Honestly, my fondest memories are either just going to Tully's.
Oh, yes. Great answer.
Yeah, and then some China cafe.
Nice.
But we keep it simple over here.
Oh my god,
cool.
Tully's is the best. I'm actually, you shouldn't have said that. Now I'm craving Tully's.
Yeah. It's a reason to come back, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, cool. Moving on to question 3 of the 6. You spoke a little bit about it, but why do you do what you do?
So basically at my job, I think it's so cool because I think it's one, and I'm sure, and like there are others, but I think it is a rare industry where people get paid to make art. And of course, it is within the context of marketing, and there are a lot of parameters and in that way, but I think it's really interesting because then you have to blend psychology and trying to solve business problems with like genuinely making art, and it's so cool. And you are meeting the coolest people from all walks of life across different industries. Like, I get to work with the most incredible like directors, editors, like set designers, costume designers, artists, just everyone, like sound designers, because I'm, from the very first brief to I write the scripts, and then whenever that script gets sold through to the client, my team and I are working to make sure it comes to life exactly how we envision it and how will be best for the client. So we are working with every single person who touches this project. And it's so, so cool to see every single person's craft. And you just get to meet the most insanely cool, talented people, which is just so exciting and motivating and interesting. And you're solving a new problem every single day. It's really fun.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Oh my gosh, like 10 years now. Maybe 11 if you count my internship, but yeah. It's been a decade.
Yeah, some internships you're doing a lot and some you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, my first internship, I was like running Subway's social media. Like,
yeah, it's a big weight to bear.
yes.
Cool. Is there anything you do besides work that you want to explain why you do it?
I've gotten back into knitting lately.
Okay.
And I think, I know later we're going to talk about what's not as important. And I don't want to jump the gun too hard on the question, but I think something I've been trying to pull away from is social media. And just like the endless scrolling, and I think, and just get into things that are more tactile. And I think knitting really helps with that because like I can watch TV or I can listen to a podcast and I'm using my hands, so I'm not like scrolling. So I'm using my hands, and like whenever I finish a section, I get that little dopamine rush of like, oh, I did something, and then I can keep going, and then I like get another little dopamine rush. So I think it fills that void really well of the repeating a manual thing and then getting a little dopamine rush, but like I'm actually creating something and learning a craft and not messing up my brain while doing it. So that's been a really nice thing for me to do. And also in my spare time, like I write poetry, I sing, I'm working on, like, I feel like every writer is like, I'm always working on like a screenplay or like a movie script. And those are always things that are work in progress, but like I'm always writing something. And I think it's just, just always always being in the process of creating, whether or not that final product ever goes out into the world, I think is very important and fulfilling.
For sure. Yeah. When you mentioned like the tactile nature of knitting, my brain also went to writing. So I'm working at Tops, and usually it's like the 4 to 10 p.m. shift. So after like 8 o'clock, there's like no one there.
Yeah.
And so I've been like printing out some receipt paper and just working on a book I'm writing. And it's been a really rewarding
That's
to turn
awesome.
this time. Yeah. It feels good to make something out of this time where otherwise I'm just standing there.
Yeah, totally. And it's also, I feel like that's also fun, like to have it be on a receipt and to be like physically writing on those receipts. That's so unique.
Yeah, I'm looking around my desk and I just see piles of them. So
That's so cool.
But yeah, that I put out the album in December, and so shifting my brain to like a different form of art has been refreshing for sure.
Totally. I think it keeps your brain fresh, and it also like when you go back to a form of art that you'd been doing previously, like you're better at it because you have like new context for it.
Yeah. I do think like growing as an artist, like let's say you're drawing for a year, that definitely does help you to write music, because the more you can like do it, the less second guessing goes on in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think we are our worst enemy when it comes to producing
Totally.
art. So,
Totally. It's like, it's so hard not to be completely self-critical.
yeah.
But sometimes you like go back and look at something a year later and you're like, oh shit, this is actually like really good.
Yeah. Do you think you'll ever try and get published for your poetry?
I've been thinking about it. I actually, funnily enough, we went to a bookstore this weekend and there was, they had a little flyer that apparently this bookstore works with local publishers, and they try and like publish local poets and writers. And they were like, oh, here's like a little QR code, scan it to learn more. And like, even if it's just publishing locally, like putting yourself out there a little bit more, I think it's a really good practice and it's an intriguing idea. So I'm thinking about it. I haven't published poetry since I was in like high school. But I think it'd be a good thing to do.
Do you think fame would change you?
Probably, if I have to be honest. I would try not to let it too much, but I think there'd be no harm in enjoying it a little bit for a little while, and then you got to get back down to reality.
Yeah. Come back down to earth.
Yeah.
Cool. So you hinted at this. What is not important?
Social media. I feel like this might just be just like the context of everything we're living in really heavily influencing this answer. And I think a lot of people are probably really feeling the social media burnout currently. But I think it like actively it's designed to pull you away from what is important. It's designed to pull you away from your actual life, like from actually spending time with people in person and from actually connecting with people on a deeper level. And I think when people's responses are limited to a few sentences by a word count, like that in itself is a huge red flag, because people can't engage on a deeper level, and it encourages people to be inflammatory and to act as if like this one statement is the end all be all, and it makes people hate each other. And yeah, I think it pulls you away from everything that actually is important, which is genuine life.
For sure. Do you feel like your social media use shot up during COVID?
For sure. Oh my God. I downloaded TikTok for the first time when COVID hit. And over time, like I could feel it like altering my brain. I could feel my attention span getting shorter. And I think I still haven't fully recovered from that, to be honest. So I'm actively trying to get back to a normal attention span. I'm trying to spend more time reading instead of scrolling. I've deleted TikTok. I've removed Instagram. I think you're just consuming so much and absorbing so little. COVID definitely ramped it up, because like what else are you gonna do with all that time, you know? But I think it's about time to start dialing it back. At least for me.
Yeah. Hopefully it proves to be good for your brain.
Yeah. Hopefully. We'll see. So far so good. I started reading Frankenstein, and
Okay.
it is so challenging because you can tell it was written in the 1800s, and you can tell it was written for like a society of people who have so much time on their hands and have nothing to do with their time, and it's so long, and like they just go on and on and on about nothing. But I think it's a really good thing, to be reading and kind of pushing against the instant gratification all the time. Be like, hey, let's
Hmm.
slow down for a minute and just like slowly read about this story. Um, it's it's hard to slow down, but I think it's an interesting practice.
Do you have a favorite author?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know if I have a favorite author. Um, I will say, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name? The author of Gillian Flynn. Um, I will say I love I first of all I love a good like thriller murder mystery. I can't help it. Um, Gone Girl to this day I think is like one of my favorites. It's so riveting. I think it's wonderfully written. I think Sharp Objects is also just like incredible. I think those books absolutely grip you, and you just rip right through them, and I think it's such a talent. So she's the first one who comes to mind.
All right. Yeah, I loved the movie Gone Girl, but I haven't read the book yet.
I totally recommend it. I mean, you already know the twist, but it's still like it's such a fun read.
Yeah, I think too that it's healthy to read books from people who are still alive. I
Totally,
can fall
yeah.
into a trap, yeah, of just like reading all these old people. Like,
Yeah,
I
totally.
was,
And then you're also supporting like a person who's alive and needs the support. Like,
yeah.
support living
But
artists.
while we're still here,
Yep.
well, cool. This is a bit of a tangent, but do you feel grounded? And if so, what is grounding you?
That is I think I think a good amount of the time I do. I think I have um some practices that keep me grounded. I have gotten like really into running the last like couple of years. I now like switch it up so I'm not like running all the time, but I do think doing that like at this point probably once a week just really helps me. Just like I just lock in, I go outside, I'm like breathing in fresh air. It's just like me blasting music that's getting me in the zone, and it's like I'm not thinking about like anything else. I'm not looking at a screen. I'm just physically in my body, and and listening to music, and that really really helps ground me, and I always feel like so much better when I'm done with that. I think going for walks similarly also really helps ground me, and I try and do that, ideally at least once a day. um I don't really do yoga as much as I should. That does help, just like even just like a little like 10-minute stretch here and there. um and these are all, I think just like physically being aware of your body and like how it feels and like your breath, that all really helps. And in that vein, singing also helps me feel really grounded. Once again, like connecting to the breath and being aware of how it feels, and like what you're creating something, and it's also like how it sounds is important, and how it feels is like just as important, if not more important. That's been helping a lot too. And also just like having great people in your life who you can lean on, and making sure you're spending time being social, connecting, being around people. Yeah, and also having something to be passionate on that you're working on.
I think that's pretty good advice. Especially when I was living alone, I could go like days without seeing other people.
Yeah, totally.
It definitely does something to your brain.
Yeah, and it just like the time like piles up and you don't even realize it. Yeah.
Social media confounds that as well.
Totally. Because like you kind of think you're interacting with people, but you're really not. No, I did the same thing. Like I was like, okay, I need to actively make a point to be like, I'm going out and I'm spending time with a friend, because I know it will make me feel better.
Yeah, hopefully it does.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, well, cool. So at this point, I want to open it up. Do you have any questions for me, young Greasy?
What are you working on right now? I know you said you were working on your writing on your receipts. Like, what are you writing?
So the book has a really long title. It's called We Can't Help But Do What We Have Always Done.
I like it.
It's basically, I take all of my mental illness and just put it onto the page. And it's about a girl named Lily who is similarly figuring out their life, and just in October of 2020 I had a pretty severe like psychotic break, and I'm doing a lot of this writing to like finally process that. But yeah, that's just kind of what's up.
Great.
Besides that, I want to get working on some covers. Haven't picked a song yet, and I think I'm gonna try and collaborate with more people on that. So
Sweet. Do you know like what kind of genre you're thinking of covering? Is there anything like, or any artist that you're thinking about?
I want to do a duet, and so I've been thinking about like songs from 2000s pop punk.
Love, yes. Oh my
like,
god, so good.
All Time Low.
Yes.
Is Remembering Sunday.
Incredible.
And If It Means a Lot to You by A Day to Remember.
Incredible.
So once I lay out the tracks for that, I'll be looking for singers. So.
Sweet. That is so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think art gives me purpose in a way that work never really did.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I guess in a way this podcast also counts for.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like what inspired you to start the podcast? It's so cool that you do this.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to like eternalize conversations with people who I like and are interesting, and so I can always just, whenever I'm like, oh, I wonder what Evan 4 is doing, I can just put on his episode and it'll bring me back to moments, you know.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Going off of that, what is legacy?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I think like it's how people remember you, and I think the first thing that comes to mind is much grander than what it actually is. Like the first thing that comes to mind is like monuments and like your your money and your mansions and like your estate that you left behind, but really I think it's like, or your like incredible art that people are talking about for generations. But I think it's really like, how did you make people feel? What do people say about you? Like, legacy, assuming that you're gone by this point. Like, it's when people are like, oh, I really loved this about them, or they always made me feel like this, or like just the fond memories that people have of you, and like the positive feelings that you made people feel and the impact that you had on them, even if it was like really small, even as long as it was positive. I think that's what it is, and I think that's what really matters.
Yeah, I do think that parts of your legacy can be negative. But
True.
Every human is inherently flawed in some way.
True, so. That is very true. I hope to leave. I hope that most people are trying to leave more positive behind than good. I know that's not true for everyone, but yeah, hopefully the majority of it can be at least people trying to be good.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So question 5, what is one of your favorite historical figures and why?
Oh, actually, I like recently learned about this woman. Okay, her name is Mary Maloney. She is an Irish suffragette, and okay, I wrote this down. She's an organizer of the London Council of the Women's Freedom League, and basically, Churchill opposed the women's suffragette movement and like really said a lot of awful stuff about them, and she was like, fuck you. And so she followed him around everywhere he went with a bell, and literally every time he tried to speak in public, she would just start ringing the bell so no one could hear what he was saying. And I was like, that is fucking awesome. Like, I just think it's, first of all, it's hilarious. Like, that's so funny. Second of all, it's just like, it's harmless, and it's a creative way to get attention for your cause and to like be effective and create change and eventually he did apologize, like get what you want, using creativity and being annoying, and I think that's so brilliant.
That's a lot of commitment too.
Yeah, right? Like, that's a lot of time for her to spend following him around for God knows how long.
Yeah, but as you said, there was probably less stuff to do in general.
True. She's like, I got nothing else going on.
Yeah. Who would you follow with the bell if you decided to do that?
Oh man, that's a good question. There's so many. They're like, who wouldn't I follow around with a bell? Oh my God. Man, I mean, I feel like the most obvious answer is Trump, because no one needs to hear anything that he says. It's all so stupid. Or maybe like, you know, I'd probably follow like an Andrew Tate type, like any of those like manosphere guys, anyone who like actually has the ear of like a lot of young men and is like poisoning the well of their minds, would follow them around with the bell for as long as humanly possible, because no one needs to hear that.
It's really hard to undo that kind of damage.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, just like sinking their claws into these like young minds that are not formed yet. It is so fucked up. Ugh.
Yeah, it seems like a bigger problem than I can solve.
Yeah, totally. And I guess like one of the most effective things is just shut the hell up. Ring a bell, just shut up.
I hope to see that.
Yeah.
So, leading into the end, what do you picture your life 10 years from now being?
Oh man, 10 years from now, I'll be 41. That's crazy. Man, I think I'll be probably living in New York or London, or maybe by that point I'll have transitioned to somewhere warm, but I'll probably be in New York or London. I think I'll still be working in this industry. But I think I'll be winding down. I think I'll be getting ready to slow down, get ready for retirement, like take a chiller position where I can, because right now I think I'm at a point in my career where I'm really fighting to be like, okay, I need to make the best work possible. I'm competing against everyone. I need to win all these awards. I need to beat everyone else. I'm like fighting. I need to make a name for myself. I'm fighting, and it's like it's a lot. It can get very tiring, and in 10 years from now, I think I'd rather be like, okay, I'm comfortable. I've achieved what I need to achieve, and I feel like accomplished and capable to delegate and be like, I maybe work in-house at at a brand where I can manage the agency team and be like, okay, I got this. I've been in your shoes. I know what you're doing. I know how to manage what you're doing. And then put a lot more focus on making things for myself. Lower my stress levels a good amount. I think my friends and I always joke that we're gonna start a commune when we get older, and I think that would be really nice. I think we all want to live within walking distance of each other. Ideally, the idea is we would buy a big plot of land and build a bunch of houses, and then we have one big communal kitchen / dining area / hangout area in the middle, and we all cook dinners together, and we have a big garden together. So whatever the closest I can get to that is in 10 years, that's where I would like to be.
Yeah. Land is only getting more expensive, but...
True. I'm going to have to start getting creative with where the land is to be able to afford it.
Yeah. I have a similar idea, but instead of above ground, I'd want it to be an underground city.
A bunker.
Yeah.
Incredible. Why underground? Just in case it all goes to shit up here.
I don't know. It feels warmer.
It's a den.
Yeah.
Got it. That feels cozy.
And I can hibernate in there.
That feels very cozy.
One of these days.
Just gotta start digging.
Mm.
And if no one knows you're under there, it's free.
Yeah. It would be hard to get all the construction done without anyone noticing.
True. It'd be very slow.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, hopefully we'll be living on our respective farms.
Yeah.
Farm, but...
Yeah. Let's hope. I'm putting that out into the universe.
And hopefully the GRODCAST is still going strong.
Yep,
so.
yep. Oh, yeah, you can absolutely be doing that underground.
Yeah. Well, cool. So moving on to the final question. Kate, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self, and do you think you would take the advice?
I think the advice I would give my 18-year-old self is you need to care way, way less what people think. Like, you need to do what interests you. You need to wear what you think is cool. You need to, like, do the things you're interested in, and just do, like, do and be and experience what you like, and stop trying to be cool. Like, stop trying to make sure that everyone likes you and worry about everyone else's opinions, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And I think, honestly, if I were to give that advice to my 18-year-old self, I think she may do a good job of, like, okay, I can follow more of my intuition and enjoy more of the things that I'm actually interested in. I think she would be able to follow the advice of, like, okay, what you're interested in is what makes you cool. But I think as an 18-year-old, it really is hard to fully internalize, like, don't care about other people's opinions. But as you get older, you let go of it a lot more. And I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned as I've gotten older, is it just does not matter at all. Like, most of these people you'll never see again.
Or never see for the first time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, cool. I guess a small sub-question is, was the letting go of the worry about other people's thoughts a gradual thing, or was there a moment where, like, it kind of made sense?
I think it was pretty gradual. I think just, like, the older and older I get, the less and less I care. I think moving away, I think, was a really big part of it. Like, moving to New York, and just, like, being an adult and working a job and creating an adult friend group and being entirely removed from the sphere of, like, oh, you're in school. I think that helped a lot. And then again, a few years ago, moving to Chicago and starting entirely fresh with not knowing anyone in this entire city, I think pushed that even further. Yeah, I think it just goes to show, like, you can start over whenever you want with entirely new people and nobody knows you, and that's fine. And, like, no one has a preconceived idea of you, and, like, what people think of you just, like, doesn't matter. And they're probably not thinking about you all that much.
Hopefully they're not.
Hopefully they're not. If you know what? If they are thinking about you that much, then they're obsessed with you. And then why are you even worried about it? You know?
Yeah. Some obsessed people can be a lot.
That's true. Then you should be worried in a different way.
Yeah.
In a not self-conscious way.
Yeah.
What advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
I think I'm saving it to do season finales.
Okay. All right. I will hold off.
But maybe that's just so that I have more time to answer.
Yeah. You can see everyone's answers and be like, ooh, what's the ultimate answer?
So stay tuned.
All right, will do.
right. Well, this has been the GRODCAST. I've been your host, Young Creasy. Our guest today, Kate Sheehan. And we're out. All right. Great episode.